What started as a terrifying blaze has now transformed into one of the most talked about criminal cases in recent memory. It was just after midnight when residents in the quiet, upscale neighborhood were jolted awake by a loud explosion. Within seconds, towering flames consumed a lavish mansion worth millions of rand. Witnesses described the scene as apocalyptic. "The fire was so intense it felt like daytime," said one neighbor. "We could hear glass shattering and alarms screaming." Firefighters rushed to the scene, battling the inferno for hours. Despite their efforts, the mansion was reduced to a skeleton of charred walls and twisted steel. Luxury cars in the driveway melted under the extreme heat. Priceless furniture, electronics, and sentimental family treasures were destroyed beyond recognition. Miraculously, the owner was not home at the time, a fact investigators later said likely prevented a tragic loss of life. Specialized forensic teams combed through the debris, searching for evidence. Burn patterns indicated accelerants had been used. Investigators recovered fragments of containers believed to have carried flammable substances. Security camera footage from nearby homes became crucial. Grainy images allegedly showed two shadowy figures entering the property shortly before the explosion. Police tracked vehicle movements in the area. Cell phone records were analyzed. Informants were questioned. The pressure mounted. 4 days later, in a pre-dawn operation, heavily armed officers executed coordinated raids in 2 different locations. Witnesses reported seeing police vehicles surround a modest house where the suspects were allegedly hiding. Officers stormed the property and arrested both men without resistance. Authorities later revealed that crucial digital evidence and suspicious financial transactions linked the suspects to the crime. The announcement sent shockwaves across South Africa. Under tight security, the 2 accused men appeared before a magistrate court. Outside the courthouse, angry community members gathered, chanting and demanding harsh punishment. Some held placards reading, "No mercy for arsonists. Justice for our community." Inside, the courtroom was packed. Prosecutors laid out a chilling narrative: the fire was allegedly premeditated. Evidence suggested planning and coordination. According to the state, the blaze could easily have spread to neighboring homes, putting dozens of families at risk. Gasps filled the courtroom as photographs of the destruction were presented. The defense requested bail, arguing that their clients posed no flight risk. However, the prosecution strongly opposed it, citing the seriousness of the charges and the potential for interference with witnesses. The magistrate postponed the bail hearing to allow further investigation, stating, "This court views the charges as extremely serious. The interests of justice must prevail." Many South Africans praised law enforcement for acting swiftly and professionally. Others expressed anger, calling for maximum sentences if the suspects are convicted. Community leaders emphasized that this case represents more than just one burned mansion. It symbolizes a stand against violent crime and lawlessness. "This is about accountability," one civic activist said. "If we allow such acts to go unpunished, we risk normalizing chaos." Legal experts indicate that if found guilty, the accused could face lengthy prison sentences, potentially decades behind bars. Arson involving residential property carries severe penalties, especially when there is intent to endanger life. The prosecution has hinted that more arrests could follow if further evidence reveals additional accomplices. #South Africa, #breaking news, #crime and justice, #court drama, #justice must prevail.